Officially, there never was a clone rebellion on Kamino. Unofficially, approximately 20 years after we were created, a special detachment of the Imperial 501st Legion was dispatched to Kamino with orders to eradicate an army of clones that had been bred to take arms against the Empire.
The Kamino Clone Rebellion, an event that officially never happened, yet would mould the way the Galactic Empire's military was composed. Almost 20 years after the first generation of clone troopers were created, Palpatine had ascended to the rank of Emperor, and he knew he needed to back his claim with an iron fist. Shortly after his rise to power, he quickly ensured that the clone manufacturers on Kamino were kept in check and secure from those who opposed him. Kamino quickly turned into a police state, and everyone was dealt with as a threat. In the time of the Republic, the Kaminoans were able to bargain with the Republic to ensure that they were properly compensated for their efforts. However, under this new Emperor, they were treated like slaves, manufacturing mass amounts of clones on demand to saturate Palpatine's rapid, aggressive conquest across the galaxy. It was for this reason that a splinter group of Kaminoans who had grown tired of the Empire's abuse decided to act. They began working on a secret cloning project deep in the capital city of Depoka. Here they engineered and extensively trained a new set of clones, from the original Jango Fett specimen. These troops were dubbed anti-Imperial clone troopers, and were subject to training that far outmatched the standard and modern stormtrooper. As well as this, a group of ARC troopers were created. These resembled the best of the best and were almost identical to the ARC troopers of the Republic. However, the old clones were created to have unwavering loyalty to the Republic and, when it became the Empire, Palpatine, whilst this new generation were created solely to serve Kamino. The new troops wore the original Phase 1 armour that the first generation ancestors did before them. They almost exclusively used jetpacks to trek the complex Kaminian cities. They were even given a small set of LA-AT gunships for support. When the time came, the anti-Imperial clone troopers overran the stormtroopers who had occupied the system, and the Kaminoans had once again been put in a position of power, where they held the upper ground against the Empire. Or so they thought. When the Empire discovered this plot to retake Kamino, they dispatched a detachment of the infamous 501st Legion, who famously were responsible for sacking the Jedi Temple in Operation Nightfall. Despite their rigorous training and superior numbers, the anti-Imperial clones were unable to calculate the tactics of the veteran 501st troops, who had no reservations about gunning down this new generation of clones. As well as this, the Empire had a secret weapon. Boba Fett, the clone son of Jango Fett, had been contracted to lead the 501st in this operation, largely due to his extensive knowledge of Kamino. Boba led the 501st into the city, and they gunned down any resistance they encountered. One of the primary objectives was to evacuate the last remaining sample of Jango Fett's DNA, which was a base material for all the clones and stormtroopers. Once this was achieved, the 501st as well as Fett wiped the slate clean of this rebellion. The perpetrators of the rebellion, the Kaminoans, were killed whilst trying to escape. The life support systems were disabled for any still developing anti-Empire clones. Any remaining clones were rounded up onto a platform and wiped out. However, this rebellion acted as a wake-up call to Palpatine and the rest of the Empire. Although the 501st had proven the loyalty of the first generation Jango Fett clones, Palpatine decided that having the entire army come from one genetic sample made it too susceptible to corruption. For this reason, he had all future clones come from multiple gene samples. As well as this, regular humans were enlisted to serve in the Imperial Corps. And over time, the one purely Fett clone army became a minority in the ranks of the Empire. As for the Kaminoans, they continued to serve their Empire loyally. Those who wouldn't would quickly be dealt with in the way the Empire dealt with any threat.